Facts usually fall into one of 5 categories: who, what, when, where, and why. Let's go through the story here to see what information falls into what group. The first sentence, swimming was prohibited in Cooper Lake Monday after a dangerous amount of algae was found in the water last week. Swimming is prohibited. That's a what. What is what the news story is about. In Cooper Lake, this is your where, the location in which the story takes place. Monday, when the story happened. After a dangerous amount of algae was found, back to the what. In the water, that's where. Last week, when. The next paragraph starts, Polk County health officials. That's where and who. Next, they declared the lake off limits. Back to the what again. Because of blue-green algae blooms. Ingesting the water can make people ill and kill small pets. That's the why. The why is the impact statement. Now, I might not care about whether the lake is closed or when it happened, but I do care that it might make me or my pet ill if I were to come into contact with that lake water. The first W that we'll take a closer look at is the who. Readers love stories that focus on people. It's the who that keeps it real. The story isn't happening to some nameless, faceless person, but to Amy, to Ahmed, or to Andy, to someone in your community. Who is involved? Next, who is affected? Who is going to benefit? And one of the journalist's favorite questions, who is getting screwed? All of these questions tie back to the impact of the story, one of the things that makes it newsworthy. And if the who is a famous person, then you have the prominence factor as well. Thinking back to our story from the last slide, what if Cooper Lake was scheduled to host a huge windsurfing competition in the next week? A great who angle would be to speak with the organizer of the competition, or someone scheduled to compete, about how the closure is directly impacting them. The next W is the what. The what is what gives the story its substance. Now, stories can get dry and dull pretty quickly. They focus too much on the what, which is why they work great when paired with the who. Think about if the story spent 5 paragraphs talking about blue-green algae, its history, scientific properties, common causes, and cleanup procedures. A news story isn't a scientific paper or a business report. It needs to balance what with who the what is happening to. When is our third W. We already talked about how one of the basic values of newsworthiness is immediacy. Timeliness is essential to every story. Readers want to know when events happened or will happen, and how long they lasted or are expected to last. What if the reporter had not submitted the lake story until a week after it had reopened? It wouldn't be very timely, and the story would probably be cut by the editor. Or what if the lake story hadn't mentioned how long the lake was expected to be closed? Even if officials don't know, the story should say that. Where is W number 4. Proximity is a news value. The closer the event, the more relevant it is to readers. If Cooper Lake was 200 miles from us, we wouldn't care whether it was closed to windsurfers or sailboarders. Now, many stories often require supplements to help explain the where. These can include maps, diagrams, or photos. If only a section of Cooper Lake was closed, a map showing the access points would be beneficial to our readers. The story could also provide information on other area lakes readers could visit instead. The why is our 5th W. Finding explanations as to why something happened can be difficult, but that's what makes the news meaningful. What if the reason the blue-green algae was blooming was because a factory was dumping something toxic into the lake, and it would cost taxpayers $1 million to clean up the algae? Now that's your story. Now, I know I said there were 5 W's, but there's also how. How stories often require detailed explanation. They're sometimes omitted to save space. If the lake did need to be cleaned, specific cleaning procedures aren't necessarily something your readers need to know about. But readers do love a good how-to story. From how to decorate your home for Valentine's Day to how to keep your outdoor plants blooming during the summer heat.